Hello, welcome to ANA community. In this particular video, we are going to discuss Majjavaha Srotodushti concept. In this, we are going to look into the Majjavaha Srotodushti Karana. That means the reasons for the affliction of Majjavaha Srotas and what are the Lakshana or clinical features observed in case of Majjavaha Srotodushti will be explained. When you think of Srotas, it is actually the channels which will carry the Majja Dhatu in the body. Majja Dhatu is actually responsible for the Purana function. That means Purana of the Asthi. That means the filling the empty spaces present in the Asthi that will be done by Majja Dhatu. As far as the Majjavaha Srotas are concerned, it is having the Srotomula, that is Asthi and Sandhi. Majjavahanam Srotasam Asthini Moolam Sandhayascha. So that means there may be a possibility of involvement of either one Srotomula, that is Asthi or Sandhi, or there may be a possibility of affliction of both the Srotomula, that is Asthi and Sandhi may be afflicted if the person is suffering from Majjavaha Srotas affliction. That means there may be a possibility of the movement of the Majja Dhatu that may take place from Asthi to Sandhi, or there may be a possibility of movement of this particular Majja Dhatu that may take place from Sandhi to Asthi may be possible. So like that, depending upon the nature of the exposure of etiological factor or pathogen, there may be a possibility of either Asthi may be affliction or there may be a possibility of Sandhi may be afflicted. For example, if the joint is being afflicted, for example, due to the excessive exercise, etc., Sandhi may be afflicted. Suppose if the person is having the trauma on the hand as such, for example, the road traffic accident, etc., there may be a possibility of fracture of the bones as such. So that means initially that will be considered to be Asthi will be afflicted rather than Sandhi in that particular occasion. So like that, so depending upon the nature of the Nidana Sevana, the person may have the involvement of either one Srotomula or both the Srotomulas may be afflicted. Now let us see what are the Nidana that are being mentioned in Charaka Samhita regarding the Majjavaha Srotas affliction. It says, Utpeshadatyabhishandad abhikatat prapedanat Majjavahini dushyanti viruddhanam cha sevanat. If you split this particular shloka, Utpeshat, Ati abhishandat, abhikhatat, prapedanat, Majjavahini dushyanti viruddhanam cha sevanat. If you rearrange this particular shloka, Majjavahini in the bracket, Srotamsi, Utpeshat, Ati abhishandat, abhikhatat, prapedanat, viruddhanam cha sevanat, dushyanti. So what do you mean by these different terminologies? Utpesha refers to the crushing type of injury. Abhishandi ahara sevana, that is the consumption of substances which causes sroto avarodha. For example, dadhi or matsya, etc. Abhighata, that is the physical trauma to the body. Prapidana, the activities that will lead to squeezing of the body parts. Viruddha ahara sevana, so that is consumption of the incompatible substances. For example, milk and fish together, or otherwise ghee and honey together, etc. Because of all these reasons, the person may develop Majjavaha Srotas affliction. This is what is considered to be the Utpesha. So that is a crushing type of injury. Some kind of the heavy object is being put on one's body. So that is while traveling, etc. So one heavy object put over one's hand itself in case of road traffic accidents, that is resulting in the Majjavaha Srotas affliction. Abhishandi ahara, so that is the some consumption of the substances which are causing the obstruction in the Srotas. For example, it is the curds or dadhi. Abhighata, physical trauma. There may be a possibility of a Majjavaha Srotas affliction. Prapidana, squeezing of the body parts. If the person is frequently doing this, then there may be a possibility of affliction of Majjavaha Srotas. Viruddhanam cha sevana, that is the consumption of milk and fish at a time together, or otherwise consumption of ghee and honey together at a time in equal quantities. These are considered to be viruddha in nature. This may lead to Majjavaha Srotas affliction. Now, how to identify Majjavaha Srotas affliction? Charaka says, Rukparvanam Brahmo Murcha Darshanam Tamasastatha Arusham Sthulamulana Parvajanam Cha Darshanam Majja Pradoshat. If you rearrange this, Majja Pradoshat Parvanam Ruk Brahma Murcha Tamasah Darshanam Tatha Parvajanam Sthulamulana Arusham Darshanam. So that is if you rearrange this particular shloka as such. Parvanamruk, the person may have joint pain. Brahma, the person may develop giddiness. Murcha, the person may have altered state of consciousness. Tamasaha darshanam, the person may have darkness in front of the eyes. Parvajanam sthula moolanam arumshika. So that is Parvajanam, that is near the joints. Sthula moolanam, that is deep seated. Arumshika, that is ulcers that will be observed near the joints as such. Joint pain. Whenever the person may have joint pain, then we are going to suspect there may be a possibility of Majjavaha Srotas affliction. Giddiness. Whenever the person is presented with giddiness or Brahma, then we are going to say Majjavaha Srotas affliction. Altered state of consciousness. That may be either delirium, stupor, semi-coma or coma. There may be possibility of Majjavaha Srotas affliction. Darkness in front of the eyes. Whenever he is having the darkness or blackouts in front of one's eyes, then we are going to say there may be Majjavaha Srotas affliction. Parvajana, near the joint surfaces. The person may have deep-seated ulcers manifestation. Then in that particular situation, we are going to say there may be a possibility of the Majjavaha Srotas affliction. As far as the Majjavaha Sroto Vittha Lakshanas are concerned, Sushruta did not mention the Majjavaha Sroto Vittha Lakshana, because Majjavaha Srotas is having the Asthi as the Srotomula, but Asthi is present all over the body. How can you say the affliction of the Asthi all over the body in case of Majjavaha Srotas affliction, which is totally impractical? That is the reason it is not being mentioned by Sushruta as far as the Majjavaha Sroto Vittha Lakshanas are concerned. The take-home messages from today's discussion are: Majjavaha Srotas is mainly afflicted with Purana of the Asthi, that means filling of the Asthi or bones. Asthi or Sandhi or both may be afflicted in case of Majjavaha Srotodushti. Text says regarding the Nidana of Asthi Majjavaha Srotodushti are Utpesha Datyabhishchandat Abhighatat Prapeenat Majjavahini Dushyanti Viruddhanam Cha Sevanat. Utpesha, that is the crushing injury. Abhishandi Ahara, the excess consumption of the substances which will cause Sroto Avarodha, such as curds or fish. Then Abhighata, physical trauma. Prapidana, that is the squeezing type of injury as such, or squeezing type of the activities. Viruddha Ahara Sevana, excess consumption of incompatible food substances such as milk and fish together, or honey and ghee together in equal quantities, etc. They are considered to be responsible for the affliction of Majjavaha Srotas. How to identify the Majjavaha Srotas affliction are Ruk Parvanam Brahmo Murcha Darshanam Tamasas Tatha Arusham Stula Mulanam Parvajanam Cha Darshanam. The person may have joint pain, the person may have giddiness, the person may have the altered state of consciousness, the person may have the darkness in front of the eyes, and the person may have the deep-seated ulcers near the joints as such. And Majjavaha Sroto Vittha Lakshana, that is injury to the Majjavaha Srotas, are not being mentioned by Sushruta. That's all for today. Dear ANA community, what are the major key takeaways from today's discussion? Mention in the comment box below. And what is the one video that you would like to hear in the coming days in this particular channel? Mention in the comment box below. and spread this particular video to maximum number of true Nidana learners so that we can make a huge movement out of this particular small message. That's all for today. Something more in the next video. Thank you.